Amnian Nights, episode 60, probably. No, it's 50. It's 50, apparently, which is a big deal. Lasted longer than my last campaign now. Rest in peace. We are here. We are in Athkatla. Interesting things happened last week. Luca will tell us what those interesting things were.
All right. We are in the Adventurers Guild. Pip gives Asher a beautiful painting of her in front of her potion stalls in Walking Promenade. She's in love with it. Obsidian sees that our dragon buddy and his friend are meeting with Clem Fandango and decides to crash their meeting. And so we just go back there and be like, what are you guys talking about? And they seemed pretty tense. And we chat with them. There was mention of a dragon that had something to do with the frozen place. We get gold from the hot dragon that we killed and left the bones of, and people went out and harvested, and we got a finder's fee. And then at some point Siri got upset and left. And went out the back door. And
can you remember what it was she got upset about?
The whole do we or don't we go find Atticus because that we could potentially track the pin that he had, but it's do we actually know if he's gonna be there? Do we actually want to find him? What do we do when we find him? Does Siri actually want to deal with that eventuality or the choices that would need to be made there? I think she was upset that we weren't jumping at the gun to go find him. At least that's what Asher thinks. I don't actually know. But yeah, she gets upset and leaves. We assume that she's fine and decide to go run our errands anyways. And we go to the Temple of Agma, where Obsidian makes some headway with some dragon stuff he was looking up, but the rest of us don't really. We get some nice food provided to us by people there, especially since we gave them an obscene amount of money when we shouldn't have, because we've helped them out in the past. Siri goes and gets in a bunch of fights.
Yeah.
It's called the V montage.
Yeah, and then goes to get tattoos and explore her pain kink. And then we go to Tolgerius, who we'd given that super weird psychic Hugh book to, and he was so sketchy, and Asher stupidly pushed him to reveal why he was being sketchy, and it turns out he was all brain controlled by Sendax, who was like, hey, guess what? I'm about to fuck you up. And he was super mean to Pip. He pulled Pip's ears, and it was very upsetting.
I have a screenshot of your collective faces when I said he reaches down, but then he just yanks the ears back, and three of you were like,
yeah.
And Mr. Death was just like, twist.
It was very upsetting. And then we basically couldn't do much to stop him, but Pip casts Dispel Magic, which seems to work to get Sendax out of Tolgerius. But that pissed off the wizard, cowled, ruling order people. So Asher bluffed, and Tolgerius backed her up in her lie to be like, oh, it was me, and we were totally just helping him out. We're in a crazy magic shop. Magic's gonna happen. Fuck off. But clearly we're going to have to, like, actually get licenses because this is going to continue to be a problem. And the last thing we need to deal with is bureaucracy while we're trying to, like, you know,
It isn't easy.
take down a dragon. So, then we end the session, right?
Is
We
that
basically
the
say,
end of your summary?
yeah, I'm
It's like-
thinking. No, then yeah, we're basically like, hey, Tulgerius, catch you later. Do you have anything that can help us now that you know what the stakes are of our mission? And he has a few things, which I'm sure the DM figured out what those things were. And then yeah, we put the Tome of Hues in a lead box, put it in my luggage, and then so it's safe forever now. And then left the shop.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
All I'd correct there is it didn't seem like the spell magic ended.
It
The
wasn't
effect.
clear.
He kept,
yeah.
I mean, he kept talking for a little bit and then was
Yeah.
like, peace.
yeah.
So I feel like you would
Yeah,
feel like it was not successful.
Okay.
I got that vibe as well, just because he was like, "I'm gonna kill Tulgerius," and then Tulgerius wasn't dead at the end, so it was like, did it work?
Yeah.
Well, so for me, the intent was a bit of a jumbled thing. The intent for me was that you cast a spell that he saw attracted the attention of the cows, and he was like, "Oh, this is more fun. Bye." Having you deal with that, but you did a very good job of de-escalating that situation. Okay. Then,
Do I get inspiration?
I mean, it was a bit rambly. I don't know. At points, you were kind of yes, you get inspiration.
This is what you get from me. This is why I don't do the recaps.
Yeah. Okay, I will take us through then. We are going to pick up initially with Siri, who is having her large tattoo done. Also, yeah, Gija, my camera, the follow-up you gave in chat and apology for your tattoo description, I feel like I was also, I think Monkey said, I was also imagining exactly what you described. So I don't think
That's
it was
great.
I don't think it was a bad description.
Sometimes I go in a fugue state and I don't even know what I am saying.
Okay,
So,
I will take
good.
us through to
Yeah, that's called playing D&D, I believe. Fine.
So we are in the first. Oh yeah, because we flipped back. I need to see if
It's
there's
okay.
I'm sure that there is a quick macro thing that will toggle invisibility on the currently selected creature, so that I'm able just to go. You have to right click individually. If there's a way, Monkey will know it. Interestingly, different behaviour on stream on Monk's Common display every week. I feel like today the invisible tokens are showing on the map, on the stream map, whereas normally they are not. Very strange. So now the viewers when they watch the stream will just see a ghost obsidian dancing around around Siri while she's on this. So yeah, Ayesh gets to work. It is surprisingly fast. You know, you already know that she requires no tools, but you've done this before and you're normally used to the very sort of like little bits of pinch and line work and, you know, looking back and it never being quite as far along as you're expecting. Now I have 2 tattoos. I'm an expert on this, you see. I can talk about the experience at length. But she just goes. And it is...
Is she using her finger?
She's using
Or the
both hands for this. She doesn't
Both
have tools.
hands. Oh
She doesn't
my
have tools.
God.
Look at the art. She only uses her magic hand.
Magic hands.
It's been a while. Let me bring up the Ayesh art. So yeah, she is working away on your neck and back, and after a while, a few minutes, just sort of like pauses for a moment. Are you okay?
sit is like face down, like in a massage parlor, just kind of, and you usually like, no, I am not okay. I am so far from okay. I wouldn't even know how to walk back if I tried. Oh, you mean the back? The back is, yeah, the back is okay.
Okay. I carry on then?
Yeah, yes.
And yeah, she...
Sorry, I don't mean to burden you. I was just thinking.
This is fine. This is my calling. It is no issue. I freed up the afternoon. I expected you, kind of. I thought there was a good chance. And then just puts the hand back in. And it feels very much like you've noticed before. There doesn't seem to be any sort of aftercare required for this. You feel the sort of searing of the tattoo, but you also feel it. What you recognise from your own sort of healing pool you use, you can definitely feel there is an element of healing as as the tattoo is done as well.
She will remember that and will try her next tattoos to be less painful by sort of channeling the same thing.
So what after here?
Sorry?
What is next after here? What are you steeling yourself up to do? Or perhaps avoiding?
I don't know. Sorry, sometimes it's hard for me to talk about things. There's a lot on my mind, and putting things in order is difficult.
The pain intensifies for a moment, and you're fairly certain that she's just decided to up the pain slightly for a moment.
Siri takes a second. She takes a second to breathe, and the sharpness of the pain reminds her of what's actually really hurting, and she just says, "I had a fight with my brother." Well, more than that, I found out my brother hates me. He hates me passionately, and probably hated me all his life, and then as she finds somewhere else that it's painful, she gets quiet. And then I also found out that there's several parallel planes and worlds upon worlds. There's a creature trying to take over ours, and there's a version of me in another that is pure evil. And it's like the pain keeps going. She just kind of shuts up for a second.
Slaps in the back of her head.
Down. You said you've traveled a lot. Have you ever traveled across worlds?
No. I've been to other planes, but not to other existences.
We met a traveler from a world such as ours, but different. He claims to be the sibling of myself, but different.
Your pure evil self?
She turns around. Yes.
You just said that.
Oh, I see. I don't know what to make of that.
Well, this all sounds a bit too... The approach I often take to these things is... What are the chances? It's too rare, too unlikely to be happenstance, is it not? And so there's a hand behind it. That's probably part of your journey. So at that point, why try to fight against it? It's your journey, you just steer it.
Is that what it feels for you? You know your purpose, you sit here, you have a sense that someone will come that needs you, and you just wait, and then they come?
I have already had my hero's journey. I'm in what comes afterwards now. I still have my connections, I have some small glimpses, but I believe the main bulk of my story has come to an end. Now we are in the footnote.
That sounds incredibly mysterious. I'm gonna really need to know more.
There was and she will basically I've just decided in this instance she will describe events that happened up near Baldur's Gate a couple of years previously before this.
Unrelated to anything to do with Baldur's Gate, then are we?
Peripherally, maybe she was slightly involved in some way. She has had the thing where she's been her main character in something. She is now in her what happens after happily ever after sort of phase now. But I just talk about that for a little bit, so no more than 10-15 minutes while she's working away. She gives sort of footnotes of things that you'd recognise some names and know that these are kind of like events of regional significance, last couple of years. But this has always been my passion, so it made sense to return to this. It is how I commune. It's how I foster my relationship with my guide and my watcher. And you notice she just sort of casually, almost kind of not thinking about it, just sort of points out to the corner where there's nobody. And just keeps working away.
I like to imagine that Cora's sort of making sure that Ayash is following the pattern. Just kind of keeping an eye where Sarah can't see. Okay. Well, I can tell you that I am very much fucking up whatever it is, my journey. I'll take any advice I can get.
How do you know you're fucking it up?
Well,
you know better than
I have.
She's chuckling.
No, the gods don't talk to me. And they never have. But I just seem to... Everything I do just makes things worse. Every time I try to help, I just make it worse.
What do you think this fellow is?
Cora?
He guides you, does he not?
I guess we guide each other. Are you saying Cora's a god?
Oh, no.
Oh. Because for a second
and
there,
then, and then in Celestial, you hear her sort of clearly talking to Cora, not you. It's sorry to disappoint.
I think Cora would be really confused.
But I'm seasoned enough and awakened enough that I can see both of you and Rocco's friend. You both are touched by the divine.
Well, she won't talk about it. At least not to me.
Why should
In fact,
why Why should anyone?
Well,
I am
I'm not-
comfortable. You're comfortable, but you are at peace with your guide. I'm at peace with mine, but there was a time when I was not. I never put roots down anywhere. I was always trying to get away from it. And when I was ready, I accepted it. I never felt like I wasted time or squandered opportunities. I wasn't ready until I was ready.
Gura is the only friend I've had all my life. I'm thankful that it's the way it is. Everything else seems to crumble around me, except that.
Part of a journey. Still, we're responsible for our own actions, so we can't always blame the journey.
Do you think people can change? Fundamentally change?
It depends how fundamentally. What do you think?
I don't
You
know.
want to change yourself, or you want to change your brother so he doesn't hate you?
There's a traveler that traveled a world. He was trying to travel time because he thought he could change his sister.
Oh, that's never a good idea.
Mm?
I've never seen time travel work well.
But he believed he could change her. He believed he could say something to change something that would change her.
And instead he was sent here, so it seems like perhaps you cannot fundamentally change things that way. Besides, magic is a shortcut, we both know this.
Mm.
As appealing as it might be, if I cast a spell now so that you weren't sad, you wouldn't have healed or grown.
I am still tempted about that fire moss, you know. It's only on the advice of my friends that I am not asking you.
Ask me on a better day for you, and I will, but not when you are in this mood. Besides, Rocco's friend is Asher, you said it. Yes, Asher, yes. Asher is a person to speak to about that. Rocco and Asher, what I've got in mind.
Or fighting at the moment.
Rocco,
Fighting
no,
with everyone.
why?
No. It's okay, don't. Ow. Thank you for listening.
It's fine.
It's not easy for me to talk about things.
I can tell I'm having to near enough dig underneath your shoulder blades to get anything out of you. How developed are your powers?
What?
Your gifts?
What about them? What gifts?
How have they manifested yet? You can heal wounds,
My gift?
yes?
Barely. Yes. Not like Asher. She's much better. I'm better with my sword. My bond with Kura is getting stronger. Much stronger. And they are getting stronger themselves. You should see them in a fight. Other than that, I feel like a bull towards a red flag. Maybe that's my talent. Just point me in that direction and watch me go.
I have known paladins who make that their entire livelihood.
I don't know about prayer or that whole devotion to a god.
No, you already have a calling.
Yes, I thought that might be my brother's one.
You could not swear enough. No more than I could. We had already sworn. We just didn't know it.
Do you know if there's a way of finding out? Because this blind walking sometimes can be very testing.
You're going to like this. And then the pain intensifies a little bit. It's like, struggle is the only way.
Okay.
You will find it in struggle.
Okay.
As will your friend. We're done.
You know, Ayesh, in the weirdest way, I feel so much better. Can I see?
Yes.
Does she have like a little mirror set up?
No, better. She does a quick spell and conjures quite a detailed illusion of you. Who just sort of turns back and sort of flexes the back a little bit and shows the tattoo.
Looks better than I could have imagined. Thank you. What do I owe you?
She's just sort of thoughtful for a moment. Seems to be listening to. I think we'll find ourselves in the same establishment soon. Treat me to a meal.
Okay. Thank you for this and for the advice. I appreciate it.
I hope answers and healing come soon.
I'm not afraid of the struggle. At least that's something. She heads out.
And we will tap back to Talgerius' tombs, where people are worried. Does Talgerius' tombs music load for me this week? It does not. I wonder if I deleted that file maybe and didn't realise. So yes, let's do some toggling of Siri. Oh, she
We clicked at the same time.
Where's Asher? Oh, Asher's outside. Oh, there's also
I thought we had
multiple
left the
series.
building.
There we go. So you were, dealing with the immediate aftermath of all of this. I believe we just ended the session during all of that. Asher, what's going through your head?
Upon stepping outside, Asher is actually gonna go over to these bushes and just gently throw.
Oh, you know why we were
bit.
still in there? Because we were just like, you got any stuff for us?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I thought he gave us the stuff. And
What
then-
stuff did you think he gave you?
So,
He's gonna give us
in
a
the
reward.
to-do list, I thought we said, have Tolgeris give the party something. You were like, I shall choose what he gives you.
Oh, okay, so you're leaving. Yeah, cool. You're leaving.
Yeah.
This stuff is unidentified because I did everything except that, but I have a couple of things in mind, but I'm going to give you, so it's fine. Was a lengthy to-do list last week. So yeah, you have left Tolgerius's tomes. And you are watering his plants, are you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get sick all over these plants.
Oh no, Asher, do you need a healing potion?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How are you?
That was rather unexpected.
Yeah.
Could say that, although we knew that there are agents within the city. Didn't seem to be one, but I suppose there is no telling when we next cross roads, paths.
I guess it's a good thing that none of us tried too hard to read that book.
Well, I guess there's going to be no getting any useful information out of it. Or who knows if there even is, or if it's purely a trap.
I mean, I feel like it's just a trap. Either way, we definitely shouldn't find out.
Agreed.
It's safe for now. What do you think about just not being here anymore? Like, we should not be here.
Sounds like a good start, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, let's start walking. Do you know of any other shops where we could procure magical items, such as scrolls and whatnot? Because it doesn't feel safe to go back to Tolgerius.
Would they sell you them without a license?
That is true. They would not. But for future reference, that would be good to know. Because ultimately, I do think that we're going to want to be able to purchase magical things.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I also have a couple of these wands that we got from the skeletons. I was hoping to sell them, but, when our go-to magic guy... To be fair, his shop is Tolgerius' tomes, so maybe he's more into books.
I mean, you can always just see if he'll buy stuff from you as long as you just don't tell him anything about anything ever that you're up to. But I don't think I ever really want to go back in that place.
Yes, there is always a risk that control will be reassumed, although I wouldn't think that a dragon with such high aspirations would have much time to go back and forth through his minions like that.
This reminds me, there was something I mentioned just briefly to Luca, though I didn't give her the details. A lot happened in that moment with Sendax. We were juggling a few things with the whole Sendax encounter. There was something very critical that, to my great shame, I realised I forgot to say during the encounter, which I'll tell you now so that viewers also hear it. The moment where he was clearly scraping to some level, detect thoughts, Pip's mind, and Pip said that, he saw flashes of what happened in his world. And Sendax had said, interesting. I now know, what mistakes not to make. That moment, I had intended for him to also say, Mithras. But I forgot to say that because I think somebody else started doing something when I said that and I forgot to loop back to it. So yes, you would all have also known that during that moment he'd kind of mused to himself like, oh, Mithras.
Don't like that.
No.
So you were saying Obsidian.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Are we walking anywhere
Alright.
in particular? Because I feel like Asher would start making for the Adventurers Guild out of habit.
I mean, maybe we should still head to the library because, we might find Sire there since she knows that we need to look at the map. And that would be very fortuitous timing, wouldn't it? So maybe we should try.
I mean, yeah, we could try. Okay.
Might as well. There's nothing we can do about this, I don't think. If an opportunity arises, we could let the guards know. They seem to be, for the most part, on our side. They were interested in the last collaborator of the Uniter.
I don't know if Tulgerius counts as a collaborator or a victim.
Well, either way, it is a person you should probably keep an eye on, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe not investigate directly, definitely not let him know that they know anything. But I think it might be beneficial if they are at least aware that there is something happening here.
Yeah.
As I say, they were interested in knowing about Lazuli. So, just another name.
Okay. Yeah. We should tell them. We should tell them. And she's just gonna kind of keep walking, clearly preoccupied.
Sure.
Be very overwhelmed. Straight up not having a good time. Just kind of staring blankly as she walks.
So you
Pip
find
might
your-
inquire with some guard or something on the way about other places to procure magical items and scrolls and whatnot. And hopefully they don't all say Cholgerius' place.
He would say Tulgerius' place first.
Oh, anywhere else?
Wizards normally, most wizards normally buy individually. You're normally best just identifying a wizard and trying to sell it to him. Sometimes Temple of Mystra has small magical markets set up, but really it's Tulgerius' you got a license out of curiosity? You're casting to do any sort of scrolls and spell books and all that thingamajig?
Not yet, but I'm planning to procure one, obviously. But, I like to plan ahead.
You could always check out Agrippa's and ask him who some of his main clients are. Because obviously they're the sort that would want the stuff for spells, so they're probably wizards, so they'll know where to get stuff. I was recently promoted to detective. Critical thinking.
Oh, well, I can see why. Thank you for the tip.
But yeah, as you find yourselves approaching the library, you see Sire approaching so auspiciously. One might almost think there's a divine hand at work. As she kind of approaches the door at the same time as you, and you reconvene.
Pip would quickly scurry up to her and be like, "Oh, Siri, it was terrible. You know who possessed Tolgerius and and it was like the tome that Tolgerius was investigating." And you realize that he should probably keep his voice down. The tome that Tolgerius was investigating, it acted as a gateway for you know who to enter his mind. Nowhere is safe.
She's checking just to make sure that like Asher and Obsidian are behind. Oh, wait.
Asher's just like,
Asher's
It's also
so
you also notice that she's like No, she's like a bit of like, oh no, did she prestidigitate my wounds? No, I think like, yeah, she still has like her fighting wounds. Wait, what? Are you okay? Is everyone
How are
good?
you?
We're... Yes, actually, now that you mention it, you look in worse shape than we do.
I feel great.
Oh,
Are you talking about Sandax?
yes, I thought it might be best not to mention him by name, because who knows who might be watching or listening. But he was able to see into my mind, and he mentioned that now he can correct some of his mistakes, and that he was interested in Mithras. Maybe he didn't know of Mithras before, I don't know, but does that mean we need to get to Mithras first?
Well, fuck. He saw through your mind.
Yes, he approached me and grabbed me and gazed into my thoughts.
I mean, the good
I
news
should,
is
I
that
should have been
he does.
faster. I should have run away or something.
No, I guess the good news is now we know Mithras is not already allied with him. Gives us a chance. I look up from your world.
Was the last thing you said?
Leg up.
A leg up.
An advantage.
Yet. not
Is
I
it?
don't
not
think
working for him yet.
Is it?
We need to be fast.
Is it possible that we could recruit Mithras? I mean, their actions don't exactly scream benevolent, friendly person, you know?
No, but we can kill it.
we
Better
could.
allying it with Sendax, I suppose.
I mean, if Clem is looking into Mithras, I don't think that we can meaningfully affect that outcome. There's some high-profile guild members, I believe, on the trail. Most everyone in the guild was interested in looking for it. So if they find it, I don't see how it lives.
They might have now picked a bigger battle that they've known. If Sandax is gonna somehow send some lackeys or allies to help Mithras. It's one thing to go kill one dragon. I'm not so sure about dragon and the allies of another one. But anyway, well, I was just here to check this map, but this seems not as important now. Why were you here?
Well, we did get some information from the Temple of Ogma, but we thought it would be best to, look at for a more general, non-dragon-based library. Plus, we thought we might find you here so that we could look into the map, because, I mean, if someone can identify those 3 places as being particularly important to something relevant, who knows? Maybe it is relevant, but it's hard to say without knowing what they are.
Here. They're probably better in your hands anyway. She's
Oh,
gonna pass you the maps.
Okay. He'll tuck it into his scholar's satchel.
Well, whatever it is we're doing, can you feel him now in your mind?
No, I mean, it wasn't like he was possessing me like it seems he did Tolgeria's. Tolgerius spoke as if he was Sendax. And then it's more like he was able to magically detect my thoughts. On that note, did it seem like it was casting a spell? Or was it another case of it seems like it was an innate ability of Sendax?
Looking through your mind.
Yes.
Very innate. Yeah, there was no. The 2 things that he did, you saw no verbal or material component. Only the slightest sort of, there was that gesture of a hand when you were all just crushed down to your knees. But no, he just seemed to look at you and no.
Okay. Well,
Yes, I don't know. I think that he might have permanent access after reading the tomes to Tolgerius, the tome of Hughes to Tolgerius's mind, but as far as I know, it was only a brief glance at mine. I hope.
it's a real shame that Avalon is not here. Well, let's do what we were meant to do here and regroup and figure out next steps.
Okay, so into the library you go.
The library!
Every time.
Like nails on a chalkboard.
I can't remember what music I used for this place last time. Let's go with this. Oh, it's because there's ambient in here, thanks to the mad cartographer. So, Siri, you are no longer invisible. What's about the dog grumbling, man?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry if we're bothering you with our D&D dog. Yeah, so you head into the library and find the scholars all scholarizing away.
Pip,
This
let's...
is, as they say, your show.
Well, where should we start? There was a couple of those names that both did and didn't seem draconic. We should investigate those. The Feywildy one, and the other one.
Thaxilia.
Yes,
It
and the other one that
Smush.
began with an M.
Oh.
One of them, the librarian did say sounded like it was draconic, but they didn't have any information, so we can check here. And I guess I'll have to ask somebody if they can help identify the map coordinates.
There is a
And
hiss from the middle table, and you see an outraged-looking gnomish fellow. Like,
Sorry.
Let me introduce you to the head librarian. Her name is Clint. She knows her way. Hello, Miss Kate, Madam Kate.
oh, hello, welcome to the Athkatla library.
Hello.
How can I help you?
We have this map, and it has these 3 locations are marked as locations of interest. I was wondering if you had any knowledge of what might relate them and what they might be pointing to, and of course, maybe some geographical books about the Sword Coast that might give more detail on certain areas.
I mean, we can certainly cross-reference your map with our maps, but
Oh, I imagine you have very detailed maps.
this seems like a larger conversation unsuitable for the main library area. Shall we retire to one of the study rooms to discuss it further?
Oh, that would be perfect, thank you.
Very well, if you'll all please follow me. And she heads. Try not to get panicked flashbacks, Juja.
I was trapped in one of these rooms, I think.
Is Obsidian joining, or is he remaining in the main library area? Oh, he's run. He just sprints the last few feet. that's what's happened with this map over years. One moment. No, the sound is not constrained by walls. There we go. So we have several. Oh, where's Asher?
Right
there we
here.
go. Sorry, you were beneath Zero. May
She
I
wishes.
see the map in? May I see the map in question? And she goes over to one of the shelves and pulls out several maps of the Sword Coast.
Yes, so the locations that it marks are here, here, and here. Of course, it could be anything, but if we found it in what I believe to be a dwarven, I don't know, mountain passage. So potentially it is of dwarven origin. We didn't. He turns to the others. He's like, didn't we find some dwarven fellows?
We thought this.
Were their
they were
remains identified?
no, their remains were eaten or charred.
Oh,
But
well,
they had some equipment with them designed to extricate metal from something that could be shot with an arrow. Or ores, more than metals.
it could be that they were miners. It could be that they were dwarves. It could be that they were simply passing through. It's hard to tell. But that's the information we have to inform our first areas of study.
So yeah, she's stretched your map out and she's cross-referenced on a couple of larger ones. So, well, this one in the Moonshay Isles looks to be an old ruin, originally of dwarven origin, but it has been considered a ruin for several hundred years. So I'm not sure of what relevance this would be. It used to be a keep, I believe, but now, yes, now there is nothing there except ruins.
I mean, it's quite possible that the ruins are of some interest to them, at least. So that might be what they are pointing to.
This one in the plains of Standing Stone. Few reports here, although there did used to be an outpost for monitoring draconic activity on the high ice, but this was destroyed several decades ago by a large white dragon, and I believe this too now stands in ruin. So far both ruins, and then this third one.
Do you know the name of that dragon by any chance?
Not off the top of my head. I can check it afterwards if you give me just a moment to do the first task.
Of course.
And then this other one near Riatavin. Let me check here, and goes over and looks at her other ones and say, oh, this used to be the Leaf Gate. This, for a long time, was one of the primary means of accessing the Fey realm, so I'm told. But I believe it entered a period of inactivity. I am unsure if that is now still the case.
Did the cameras just move?
They did not.
Okay.
So, yes, 2 ruins, potentially 3. I don't know of any significant historical link between the 3 here in the library, so I would suspect perhaps that these were perhaps your dwarves were treasure hunters and these were 3 locations they were planning to make expeditions to for treasure?
That's certainly possible.
Unless they had a potentially out-of-date interest in accessing the Fey realm.
There's a white dragon I've heard of called Mithras. Could that be the one who's was known for destroying that tower or whatever it was?
If this dragon was active several decades ago, then I believe it was
I
around
imagine so,
30
yeah.
years ago, if memory serves, but it's very possible. Anything else?
Yes, there were a couple of named entities that we wanted to investigate to see if there was any information on.
Oh, it's a general library inquiry. It's not related to these maps.
Correct.
Shall we head back on through then?
Of course, of course. I'll utilize the Dewey Decimal System to its best.
I'm sorry for the smell in here.
What is the smell in here?
Almost, it smells quite yeasty,
Ew.
like stale bread. Just like, this is where we breed the fireflies, and they require a large amount of bready mulch. Can't have.
Ooh, look at this
can't-
fella.
Can't have candles in a library.
I was doing the same thing. I was like, zoom
On what?
Yeah,
on that
who's
dude
this
next
fella?
to us,
Got a very elaborate portrait, this fella.
Oh, yeah.
and kind of cross eyes. Okay, so thank you very much for your help. Any pointers? Should we just try and look up the names alphabetically? Do you think would that be the best way to go about it, or?
Well, it is a library, not an index, so you'd need to have some awareness of. You said you know what types of names they are?
He will relay the names and say, one we were told by another librarian was potentially draconic, but not confirmed. The other one I'm unsure of.
If you consider this name to be
Faye,
draconic,
I
then you
think.
should. I'd suggest you check out the dragon section. Although we do have a specialist library here in Athkatla for draconic information beneath the Temple of Ogma.
Indeed, we did visit that, but this particular one they had no information on. They did help us with our other draconic names, though, but that's a good suggestion. Okay, yes. Guys, let's...
Did you relay
girls,
the
companions.
mushroom lady's name?
We haven't told her no, not yet.
I wasn't sure
I'm
if that
thinking
was
of-
on the list of names.
Yeah, that one was the one that was related to Saxosulia, I think. And then there was...
Smosh and
No,
Cecilia.
they're separate.
Zugzwmsor. Just write them in English, fucking hell.
Smosh, W, or Thaxilia.
Yeah, those two are the ones I'm thinking of, whichever way around they are. One of which might be draconic, the other one probably isn't, but we don't know.
Faxilcilia was the one that was described to you as sounding draconic by every sense of how a draconic name is constructed, but they had no entries to do with it.
So looking in draconic entries for that one, and Fae related for the mushroomy one, I guess.
You find nothing on the draconic one. I would also say, having had access to the Dragon Hall, this is embarrassing. This draconic section here.
Oh, I thought we were. Oh my god.
No. Compared to what you have access to, this is like having access to like the foreword. Make me a. Oh, do you know what I'm gonna do? Do you know what I'm gonna do? Because you're all here. I haven't had a chance to do this yet. Hold on.
I do not know what you're going to do, and now I'm a little bit scared.
Shit, where is it? Just doing a quick reboot.
What?
Missed something. Hopefully this doesn't take too long to come in. Well, that's taking the piss. Come on. I've removed so many modules from this world.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I almost am here.
Where are we? I'm
The
not
library.
there.
You're still in the library. The love how every time I look at but every time we say library, I just see in Zoom Luke would be like
saying,
It-
"When's he going to get bored of this joke?"
never.
Never. It's not the library and the head librarian.
Yeah. I
Canon.
am going to have all of you make a combined. So you are all fanning out, searching the shelves for this information on the Fae, looking for the name. Mr. Deaf, pronounce it how you would.
Thaxelcilia?
No, the other one.
Oh. Tuktmas? Oh. Tuktmas.
Let's see if this works. I've tried this.
I kind of like the sh at the end. See what it's going
Oh
for.
gosh.
Research time.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
Goodness.
What is this?
The
What is
Seamus,
this?
the Seamus doesn't show up on the stream because I haven't done it for the player. But click the dice under your name.
You know what?
Big roll.
I'm gonna use an advantage.
Okay.
It didn't do anything, so oh no, it did.
Good.
Eh,
This isn't fun, I don't like it.
That's not true.
okay,
wonder
good.
why I calculated like that. I set the DC. I don't know why it did that. Oh well, that's at this point first time. But yes, from what I'd set I think because it was averaging it out. Okay. Just when it almost seems like you're finding nothing, who got the highest? Pip. You find listed as almost a footnote in a book that is around written 40 years ago. You glean two important notes tucked away in very minor areas of this book. The first is that Zutmosh is referenced as a very, very minor Fey noble. Is this him typing away?
No, I'm just busy sending
memeing.
memes
He's
in the meantime.
memeing. So you do find a reference to
noble.
Zukmash as a minor like Fey player in the Fey realms, described as sort of young and still consolidating their power. This book also makes a brief reference, written with clearly that kind of assumption that the reader is already familiar with such terms, that a lot of the Feywild is presided over by a dragon named Corvelian. But you would see that this book was written in the front cover around 40 years ago.
Do you think that we should contact Lloyd? That was his name, right? The Fey detective, I mean.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
we're
think we need.
not here.
No, not right here. But like if we
No!
what?
Why?
Well, we found information about a Fey entity, in this case a Fey noble. He clearly knows Fey people and the courts and such, because he was tasked with looking for one. And even if he doesn't know them offhand, we could hire him to investigate. If we need a Fey connection, then that seems to be the only one that we currently possess.
Did you have dealings with the Fae before?
I mean, other than the fact that my people are technically long since descended from fey creatures.
Oh, you're
No.
not going to make Obsidian like you. You're going the opposite way.
No, I haven't had any dealings with the Fae.
Have you met Lloyd?
I haven't.
But I've heard so much
Did you
about
not like
and
him
it
very
almost
much?
feels like I have.
Well, I don't feel like this will lead anywhere good.
Corabellium already knows of Sendak's designs. He tried to reach her, tried to recruit her. She said
I
no.
mean,
In our world. I know in yours, she said. There was a
Yes,
note.
that is quite strange. But you said that she's no longer with us in this world, right?
In this world, she isn't. But neither is another dragon called Kurigalsu who lives in the infernal plane. It is possible that even though Corabellium's bones rest in this prime material plane, she may still yet exist in the fair realm.
is that how it works? I was under the impression that perhaps an infernal contract was in place. Something with the soul of Kurigalza being preserved as whatnot. Do you think all dragons just manifest in different planes?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is we found
How many times do we have to kill those beasts?
At least one per level.
I think it's probably unlikely that Corabellium is still with us, unfortunately, although we can always hope. But I do think that we potentially have a connection to the Fey realm via Mr. Gross. Or indeed, you said that he was looking for a Fey noblewoman and hags. They're Fey creatures.
Yeah, no leads
We could head to the
there.
tea room.
No leads there. That's all sorted. We have no information for him about that.
No, but we could ask them if we can find them again.
It's more
No
about
guarantee we could.
they found us rather than the other way around.
It doesn't seem like they want to be found by many.
I'd rather deal with Lloyd again before I went looking them up. That's one of those like, thanks for your time, I'll never bother you again, and in return you won't eat me.
Well, that is one at least potential avenue for some information. And if it's true that the well, she said the Fey gateway was destroyed, but it's perfectly possible that it has been reactivated, or that we could activate it in some way. Or
Well,
if
if you wish to,
wizard powerful enough, they could maybe send us there. But the gateway seems like a good option.
which one was the gateway?
Near Riavatovin. No, near a place called Riatovin.
Oh.
And which location was it? The general one?
Well, this is what she said. She's
Moonshay Isles, the
no,
High
that's
Ice, or
Dwarven.
Snowflake Mountains.
Well, near the snowflakes out. No answers but gate, yeah.
Okay.
This map always just like freezes up and won't scroll. It's very annoying.
Do the map image is too big?
Maybe.
Oh.
And
Can zoom out
what was that name, Sarah? Is that the place?
She said something like Riatovin. Oh, here, Riatavin, with an A, at the south.
Well, What was down there?
The leaf gate.
Very good.
I've
The
forgotten any of the things we just learned.
there is here. I've taken some notes, and she passes you the Google link to the shared notes document,
I will open that link.
where everything is misspelled and yet annotated.
Dwarven ruins in the Moonshine Isles. Bone in the... Okay.
Ariata. Okay. Mhm. Well, that would probably rule out Mithras, wouldn't it? Unless he travels great distances.
What do you mean?
He can fly.
Yeah, sure.
I
think
was also like ages ago.
Kate has not been stood here politely while you've been continuing these further lines of discussion, and
I
she
assume
has
not.
she has drifted back. To...
And the one that was destroyed by a white dragon is the one in the north,
yes,
which is not that
below-
far
just
away
below the
from
high
where he
ice.
potentially was.
Hmm?
Where? Oh yeah, so we were in Riversmoot. I mean, it's hundreds of miles potentially, but for a dragon, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal.
But also, it was destroyed decades ago.
Yeah, but dragons live a long time.
Unless obsidian's around them.
Exactly. Like, why?
Who said
I
that?
don't understand why it would be an issue that Mithras might have been the guy who killed it, like who destroyed it, because he could have
I mean, it's
been
not an
there.
issue, but it's just
Oh.
they all link together, and you know full well the things do all link together. You know.
I don't know. This seems like a treasure map to me. But maybe.
Dwarven ruins. Could
And
be
we found
deposits of some.
So we found nothing on the Celia.
Nothing.
Excellent.
No mention of the name whatsoever.
Well, even her servant seems to be a mysterious creature. The only one we have no name or even a nickname for. The envoy.
Since we're here, I'm gonna see what they have on the undead and this Lord Sanguiniar. I'll take a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Doing a big epic roll just for Siri.
I mean, I'd love to try and find something on Lady Decay, but I feel like I shouldn't roll on it. You should just let me do it. Can I try and?
Yeah. So you're looking for Lady Decay, and what are you looking for, Siri?
Lord Sanguinar.
Okay, both of you make me separate intelligence checks.
Oh, God.
Intelligence?
What are they looking for? I'll help somebody.
Siri is looking for any reference to Lord Sanguinar, and Asha is looking for any reference to Lady Decay.
Cool. I will help out with Asher.
Neither of you find anything you're looking for
Yep.
in the tomes.
That tracks.
Your loot, by the way, from Tolgerius, I've just suddenly remembered by chance, as you're here spending some time reading, I've remembered what he gave you. You have 3 items to distribute across the party. 1 is a ring of radiant resistance. 1 is a +1 shield. And the other is a luckstone.
Cool.
Luckstone.
Luckstone? Luckstone, Luck?
Yeah, as in,
Yeah.
she's so lucky.
It's +1
she's
to
a
your
star.
saves.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a cloak of protection, but without the AC. Or a ring of
And
protection. That's exactly
And
what it's
ability
like.
checks, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Unless it's an older version, I'm not sure.
No, I think it was probably right.
Well, that's good for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we do now?
I would like to see if there's anything on traveling to the infernal planes.
Are you looking for this, or are you asking an attendant for help?
Let's see how far I get. Just looking.
Okay. Finding like sections on the infernal and rituals and things like that. Make me an intelligence check.
My God, there's no library that would have like something like this just out in the open. 12.
Okay. You find reference to the fact that it is possible powerful infernal agents and very powerful wizards are said to be able to travel there, although it is quite an exertion for them to do so. You do also know that with the relevant materials and knowledge of an incantation, it is possible for anyone to assemble to construct a circle that will transport them to the infernal plane. But it is the book just refers. The book is like, and we would never detail such profane act here, but the cost of these materials, even if you know what it is, it runs into many thousands of gold, and should not be attempted. But it absolutely can be done. So yeah, you would know that with the correct materials and gold and the right sequence of words, yes, you get to the infernal plane, but you don't know what those words are and what that cost is.
As she's looking for this infernal book, or information on infernal planes, would it be possible, as one does in a Waterstones or any sort of such libraries,
To pay £20
come up?
for a coffee, yes.
Yes. She might have stumbled onto a section on philosophy.
Sure.
Would that be possible?
Sure. It's full of books such as Why Think About It, The Gods Are Real, and things like that.
Open your eyes, the gods are real.
Yeah.
It might be possible that she might find a title there that calls her attention. Maybe an author that she recognizes from her father's library. But she'll pick a tome on grief
She'll pick a tome
or something
what,
like that. A tome on... I don't know. She's... she's gonna scour for a moment. She's gonna scour the books for a second. She's gonna be there for a moment. Pick one up. thumb it through. Whilst the others do other stuff.
It brings back memories of sitting on the floor of your father's office, reading books that you are too young to fully understand, just to kind of be near him as he was quietly working away at his desk, perhaps, if you feel like that's in line with Siren.
Then what she'll do is she'll pick one whose title she recognizes, but she never read. But she recognizes was in the house. Maybe in the study. She'll just grab it. She's not going to steal it. She's just going to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else
anybody else wants to do?
Asher has just
Nothing in the
sat
library.
somewhere leaned up against a shelf, just like kind of.
Continues to be vomiting.
Do we feel that we know how to like deal with undeads, as in like how to fight them in general, or?
Well, the holy water certainly did explode a skeleton.
Yeah.
Might be worth looking
Is
up
there perhaps a book
how to kill vampires.
written by a certain Van Richten type character hanging out on the shelves? Could give us some pointers.
Sure.
Van Richten's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
Yeah. Van Richten Guide to Monster Hunting there is a very well weathered tome of that.
But it might be worth actually purchasing and just having like a bit of a. What do we know about this monster, DM? Is there like a Dungeon Master's Guide kind of encyclopedia of?
I think Van Richten's Guide to Monster Hunting is until they started really pushing Volo, I feel like that was considered canonically to be like okay, sure, you can appraise this book for information on some monsters. But yeah, there is a copy of Van Richten's Guide to Monster Hunting. Absolutely. It is significantly older and more battered than many other books in the place.
I know Pip was looking for information on the Osram Mountains and a Storma.
Oh yeah, I did mention that I wanted to do that, so I would continue with that.
Did I not present you that knowledge? I feel like I talked about the region and the people.
There was a little bit.
I mentioned it last session, right? And there was a little bit, but they didn't have all that much information because it wasn't all that draconic, right? Or am I crazy? Either way, I would still ask in this library.
You looked it up. So you looked up a Dragon Hall menu, nothing. But then you looked it up again in their sort of general library upstairs when you stopped for lunch, and they brought you information on it.
It was more
I
like.
feel like if we to do the level of information you got about the mountains, I feel like you'd get the same sort of level here. Historical events that have happened in the region. You might get a bit more here on like the climate and the wildlife. The flora and fauna of that region.
Well, I've met the wildlife, so that's okay.
I feel like you got a comprehensive amount of like the tribes of the mountain.
Okay, good.
Okay, well, I feel we've done a good job of research.
Is there anything you think we've missed, Sure?
So much, but I don't think the questions we have will be answered in the library.
Okay. Do you think it's time to regroup outside?
Unless you have something else you want to do, yes.
Well, I was interested in where we could potentially trade magic items, but obviously Tolgerius we can't really go to. A guard suggested just meeting wizards privately, and potentially asking someone like Agrippa for contacts, or there could be something in the Joaquin Promenade. I'm
They
keen
might
to
have
go
a
there
directory.
at some point. Sorry,
Is
what
it
was that?
open?
Oh, not today. Closed on Wednesdays.
We could ask the head librarian if she has a. There must be some sort of digest of the city, particularly private contractors.
Maybe so.
No, Miss Kate, Madam Kate, Mrs.
Yeah.
Kate.
Oh, yes.
Which one? Do you have a directory of the city? The shops, shopkeepers.
Oh, never. It's ever changing as commerce comes and goes, and as people set up longer or short-term stalls in the promenade and other such things. It'd be a tremendous, tedious hassle both for myself and for the strange authority who presides over us all to maintain and compile such a list. I've always said that half the fun of living in such a big metropolitan city is the exploration of it.
I see.
She speaks both to Sire and Chicha at the same time.
I see. I was about to tell her that you could just.
Make that list.
There was. God damn it! I had something. Oh my god! I had something. Oh, sorry. Would you happen to know
As you're talking,
how much?
I would say this whole time there are increasingly long-suffering, increasingly melodramatic, passive-aggressive sighs from the male gnome sat on the other side, where it's like he's like unable. Oh, go on.
Would you happen to know how much a license to practice music costs? Lol. Magic.
A busking
In
light.
the city cost.
Haven't I said 5,000, 6,000 gold? It's written down somewhere. She will tell you whatever that number is. But I can't.
Yeah, but like
find
we don't know
it.
what that number is. We're trying to figure it out.
No,
It's on my notes.
You've been told it's 5k or 6k, but I can't remember at the moment which one it is. I know it's one of the two. But she, whatever that number is, which I will find for you in my prep notes, she will give you that number.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna snoop around and see what this guy is doing that is so important. He has to shush other people.
Dear Sendax, they have arrived in the library. In the library.
She's gonna say apologies for the disturbance, but as she does, she is totally gonna look over what he's doing.
What would you like him to be writing?
His memoirs.
He is.
I feel like he would be writing his memoirs.
He is writing his memoirs. You see there are piles of scrumpled, balled up parchment in his little corral. But he seems to have nothing beyond like, my story begins with, and then you can see that the ink looks to be very dry on that page. He seems to be struggling to put pen to paper. And he's just sat there occasionally massaging his temples very melodramatically, like he's having some sort of huge migraine. And as he speaks to him, he's just like, it is fine, it's fine. I can get nothing done here these days anyway, it's so chatty and bustly.
May I suggest, sometimes I find I think better with a little bit of movement, particularly around nature.
Oh, Spoken as someone with the privilege of not having allergies, I can't walk around in nature. I'll be sneezing for days.
What about the swim and the... Okay, okay, good day.
Oh, now I've lost where I was. Oh, and you hear a light crumple of paper behind you. So, are we all filing out and regrouping outside?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as you
To the
decide
outside.
where you're going to head to next, it is 1:15. Let us take our 50. Before you leave, a thought strikes Pip.
Why don't we quickly check
Doesn't
if
sound
there
like
are
it.
other gates to the Feywild?
What a wizard idea. You find no such token. Sure, yeah. You can make me an intelligence check.
Amazing.
Anybody who wants
Since
to
I'm
help.
proficient in investigation,
Oh.
can I use that?
Sure.
Excellent.
I'll help.
A 17.
God.
Marvellous.
Oh, about bazillion.
A
26.
26. Marvellous. So, you find tomes detailing means of there's a lot of chaff on what the Feywild is. It's a very rudimentary place. It only makes a single reference to entry into the Feywild, which is referred to as the Sylvan Door, and there's no other mention of it from there. But you are able to search elsewhere in the library for terms like involving the Sylvan Door, and you find that this is a forested stronghold protected by aggressive Fey and forest type creatures that has a gateway into the Feywild in its heart. And this fort is located on the, I forget its name, I will find its name on the map, but on the significant peninsula or jut of land where the forest of Tefir reaches out west and juts out near the Nalantha. So southwest of Athkatla on the big foresty protrusion out into the sea. At the heart of that, where the cross meets, there is meant to be this forested hold. I will add it to your map. The Sylvan Door. Oh, good grief. That's a big icon. There we go.
Oh, speak French and enter.
Melon.
It is fine to know how to enter Feywild, but what would we even do in the Feywild?
Well, there is certainly an ally of Sendax in the
Mhm.
Feywild. Quite a devoted one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It probably might be an idea to cut the legs from underneath Sendax before we try to stop him. I'm not saying we do this now, but
But when we find the means to track down such a foe on a land we know nothing about, and that is native to them, then we could attempt such a thing. Yes.
I mean, we also have some vampire lords sending assassins after us, so if we want to try and address that first, either works towards,
If only we'd
Armies
been
and
able to
maps.
find anything about this lord in this library. Is there anywhere else we could search?
I mean, once our guy has that planning room done, there.
I mean, I would say that dragons are great big mythological creatures. It wouldn't be the most unusual thing for just individuals to not be referenced in libraries. Like, Elias is a significant figure in several of your lives and in, like, you know, it on the national scene, but you probably wouldn't expect to find like a book on Elias in a library. This is just a single vampire.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand. I mean, the only other lead we have to Onslaught is the recent activity of rumors.
What?
Actually, when it comes to tracking them, and generally singular creatures of high notoriety, wouldn't the guild be the place to ask around? And they surely know of creatures that have either escaped capture or killing, or just creatures that operate but have never been put up for a reward. Maybe someone there could tell us anything about any of them.
This is a bit above the table because Siri doesn't have access to this book, but did you find anything on any of the dragons? Onslaught, for example? Because
We
there's a hole
found
there.
Oh, because he wasn't there, yeah, of course.
We have found a few. We have found books about a few of them, but
This is where
not
she
much.
could be like, I made some notes and links her back her own Google Doc.
Not many that I think would be immediately useful. We have learned that Onslaught is probably a wingless dragon, perhaps lacks the ability to fly, which would answer the question of why he's not well suited to challenging Sendax directly. That's not. Well, we have found a mention of an organization that would be, I reckon, potentially useful, but I don't think the information alone brought us any closer to finding them. The Azure Court, apparently formed by Azuria Deep Shield, the other gem dragon known to exist within the Prime Material. Other than that, I would say dead ends on both Galantatra and the White Dragons. I was looking for connection between Mithras, Aveatras, and the last one, which now eludes me. The mates of Mithras, essentially. I was wondering if perhaps that was somehow connected, if Sendax killed them, if there have been more.
What about would it make sense to ask the Adventurers Guild if there's been any news of undead activity popping up somewhere?
Yes,
Any cause for adventurers to, put down to slay some zombies?
that is an option, yes.
Do we want to head there and ask?
Adventurers eager to kill undead, please call us. Ghost nights, ghost busting nights.
Magira could be a person to talk to when it comes to heightened activity of certain creature types. I assume that she must coordinate with other adventurers guilds, unless this is a solitary unit. I'm not sure how they are organized.
I think they have chapters, right?
They seem to operate, yes, widely.
Oh.
Judging by name. Perhaps they would have. I would suspect that Magira probably knows most about just a range of wards, tasks.
So we wish to return
To the guild.
the guild.
Probably.
Okay. You make your way back. As you approach the guild, you hear a commotion outside. And as you near the building, you find a woman stood in the street, shouting and kicking a figure who's lying on the floor. This figure cannot stand up because bearing down on him, essentially pinning him, is your goat.
What? What?
Does the god have a name?
Go.
I mean, I've jokingly been calling it
Sangzor. Yeah.
Sangor, yeah, of course.
Get off me! Get off me!
Obsidian will go forward and pick up the goat. Or try to.
The woman is attacking the man as well?
She's kicking him.
Oh. Okay, then I guess Obsidian will get closer. And gently put
She sees
an
you
arm.
approaching and looks out at you all.
Just hold to the goat a little bit, just sort of push it a little backwards.
The goat resists, but stops butting him. It just stares at you for a moment and stares back at him. And she looks angry and a little shaken. And so she's like, I was just walking by and he stole my bag and ran. And this goat came out of nowhere, took him right down, it did.
Sure.
Bloody swine! Puts the boot to his ribs again.
Did you retrieve your possession?
You see, yeah, she's got a bag with where the strap has broken, so she's just sort of got it all held against her now.
Would you stop a moment?
Say what?
Would you stop a moment?
Is that to her or a goat?
to her, because she's kicking him.
Yeah. She steps back and says,
Hard to ask him questions.
Are you guards? Are you gonna?
Who are you? He will directly to the gentleman on the ground.
He was like, I just needed the money. I mean nothing by it.
Around. Do you need the gods for this? He sort of asks the one.
Well, he could do it again to someone. Do you not think?
Yeah.
He's
No gods around.
I just needed some money.
Friend, just because you need the money doesn't mean you can take it from someone else that also needs it. We need to take this man to the guards.
Oh,
Really?
come
That's
on. I beg
such
you.
a bother. What are your needs?
I mean, just a couple of silver.
Obsidian, no. I'll take him myself.
No, we don't. Listen, turn him,
This feels
turn him
like
over to the guards.
No,
such
no,
a.
see,
Do we have time for this?
Excuse me. This woman was assaulted. She
I
could have
never
been
hurt.
hurt.
I'd never hurt. I've got a mum. I'd never hurt.
You pulled the purse violently.
What?
You could have
She hadn't
tipped it.
kept
She
on
could
with
have
it. She
fallen.
got...
I'm taking this man to the guards who can decide what to do with him.
I mean, they're just
Right.
gonna throw him in a cell somewhere, and that doesn't help anything.
Okay, so now we're helping people who steal from other people? I mean, even your goat knows what the right thing to do here is. Do you make a habit of this, friend?
Beg you, please.
I just feel we probably have bigger concerns right now than one
Exactly.
like this.
Lying on the floor.
Are you satisfied with your punishment, madam?
What? How do I know he's not going to do it to someone else? He could get round that corner and run back and grab it again.
Right. Well,
Rough him up a bit, and I'll call it. Teach him a lesson, and I'll call it fair.
I think the goat already did that.
It's not about punishment. It's about it not happening to another innocent person.
Cool.
if the man has money, there's no reason to. He needs a couple silver.
Are you being serious right now? You think
This
you're
is a
gonna
city
give
of
this?
coin I keep hearing.
He needs 2 silver today. He'll need 2 silver in a couple of hours, and then in a couple of hours he needs another 2 silver. Why don't you work for your silver friend?
You know what?
I've
solve that
got
problem.
I've got a bad leg. I can't. I used to work on the docks. I can't get a
I'm
back
gonna
anymore.
inside check this guy.
I am just gonna take out a gold piece and just like set it on his chest and start walking away. There, now he's got silver for the next few days, and it won't carry over.
That's what I wanted to do. God damn it!
Absolutely not. I'm gonna. If not, we'll like. I'll just go find the nearest. I'll take him to the nearest guard. Absolutely not.
How about it then?
Thank you.
I will remove 1 gold from my inventory.
I would like. I'm gonna take her gold. I'm gonna give it to her later. I would like an insight check on this guy though.
Songs are.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Just to kind of like, are we like, is this someone who's desperate? That makes total sense then.
I worked on the docks for years, but a crate fell on my leg. Now I can't walk properly. I just need a few silver so I can get into the sea's bounty. That's it.
To get where?
The sea's bounty.
Is that the vessel headed to Chult?
No, it's a tavern.
No.
Oh.
But you got to pay to get in. But there's a guy giving work inside, and I can't get inside to get the work. I want to be honest.
Okay, I will take you there. You will get work there. I'll pay for you 3 silver to get in there and apply for that work. Deal?
Yeah?
Okay.
It's not a trick.
You want to go into that tavern to ask for work? I will go with you. I'll pay your entrance to that tavern and watch you ask for work.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah.
The first thing you're gonna do is pay your first wages to that lady for the fight.
I've got a gold I can give her.
That's not yours. Actually, it is yours. So yes.
That's fair.
Okay. I will be back in a couple of hours.
Well, we have plenty of time, so
Well, he's not actually there
Nothing to do.
tomorrow. It's Wednesdays that he. It's Thursdays, but it's Wednesday because the market's closed. It's Thursdays, but he's there. Everybody says. He turns up.
Okay.
He gives money. He helps out. He helps out the people who've got nothing. Gives out a couple of jobs. It's great, but you got to pay like 5 silver to get in the bounty.
It was 2 a second ago, friend.
I don't know what it is. I'm going off for coffee, Gijo. Don't get up my ass.
Oh. I just thought you were trying to put my leg.
50 gold to split between us. That's amazing. 30 gold split between 2. But what are we going to do with 20 gold split between us? Yeah, two silver.
Who is this man giving out jobs?
Oh, I don't know his name. He's from some workers' guild or thing. He goes around giving out work.
Not someone you know from Athkatla.
Oh, no,
Or you don't know.
I don't know him. No.
Siri's gonna give a pointed look to Obsidian and Asher.
Ball fella, big beard.
I
What sort of jobs?
don't believe you will find Obsidian and Asher around this
Oh, they're
point.
gone? Okay.
Yeah, they kept on walking.
Ash returned and started walking inside.
I mean,
After
Obsidian would only walk away if you managed to get the goat's attention and actually
The
get it
goat
to follow him.
seems satisfied and follows along.
Which means Obsidian will go and put it back where it sits.
If I find you in front of that tavern tomorrow,
Yeah.
I will be satisfied.
Okay. Yeah. I want
No,
to
leave.
work.
Now, I apologize to the very nice lady.
I'm very, very sorry about your bag. I am sorry. Look, my mum taught me to knit and darn and repair my own leather. I can fix that strap if you want. I am sorry. She seemed mostly uninterested in his apology. I mean, I offered. I don't know what else you
Okay, well, you have a gold.
This is. He's looking at his gold coins like. This is too risky. If you're going to meet me there tomorrow and you're serious, will you keep hold of this until then?
Why?
Because if I get in trouble overnight or someone takes it from me, then I look even worse tomorrow. So you trust that I'm going to turn up there. This is. I've never had a fucking gold piece before in my life. This is my proof to you that I'm trusting you'll be there.
I am so very confused about this whole interaction, but okay. Well, what's your name?
Ronnie,
I'm Siri. I'll see you there tomorrow. What time?
11. First thing.
Do you have something to eat, Ronnie, tonight?
We've got some bread. Yeah. We've got a bit of stale sandwiches. But, you know, everyone's had that.
Siri's
at
gonna
work.
she's gonna give him 2 silver. Just don't spend it on drinks, spend it on food. And maybe a shower.
I don't drink. Terrible habit. What you consume, my dad. It's hot shot for me.
You know, I'm really bad at detecting a liar, so I'm not even going to try. I'll see you tomorrow, Ronnie.
Okay, thanks. And he rushes off.
Oh, you're still here. She sees Pip. He's just standing there.
Oh, well, I didn't want to interrupt, but I didn't want to leave you behind.
The others will think me paranoid, but someone handing out jobs, particularly to those really needy. I mean, it's nothing new under the sun. Obviously, this is the city of coin, but it could also be a lead. Will you join me tomorrow?
Sure. Didn't you say there was some guy with work at a tavern?
That's what he said, yes.
I'm just trying to encourage a reference. Like, is this not the same guy that we investigated? Like when Atticus was questioning people in the tavern?
No, you went to
No.
him a crooked crane, but that seemed to be a dead end.
Above
But,
board.
that seemed to be legitimate
He was going to Chult.
seaman work.
Okay. Yeah. The other ones will definitely think I am paranoid, chasing my tail.
I think it's very noble to try and help people like that.
What is
Well-
Obsidian saying? Muted.
Nothing. Nothing. Yes, very noble of Siri.
I've lost complete track of like what money he has. Oh, I think I have Asher's coin. Yeah. Well, the thing is, we were on the trail of a, and she's gonna fill in Pip about the fire.
Firebrands.
Yeah, I was thinking fireflies. I was like, no, that's the wrong game. Firebrand and
After a cure.
how they tend to recruit people like this, offering a lot of money for simple jobs.
Awkward moment, Pip. You would be hearing a lot of what your sister was peddling with Elias around your Sword Coast, as Sire describes this.
There's a difference in that clearly this Sire has drank the Kool-Aid at some point and then stopped drinking the Kool-Aid as much.
Yeah.
It's very easy to manipulate people who are the most in need. Whether that's in need of coin or in the need of some kind of support
Or hope.
or hope.
Asher,
Just
Ronnie
notice how
didn't.
leaning, how out of frame Jeter is on the thing. And she it's just the tip of a nose.
Asher, Ronnie didn't want to keep a hold of this, but I promise to give it to him tomorrow. I can give him one of my own if you want this one back. Here's a gold coin.
What?
He said he didn't want it in case he got into trouble. I think he thought it was too much. I am seeing him tomorrow. I can bring it to him then.
I mean, I gave it to him. If I don't want you to give, if you're gonna see him again, just give that to him. That's fine.
Okay. Just so you know, I didn't ask for it back. He gave it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Why though?
Hubris is stood there, sort of looks between you all, and then Ash, yeah, the three of you make me an insight check. Pip, Asher, Siri.
I'll remind that I have a passive of 17, and yet.
You do have a passive of 17, yes. I have to start remembering that. Her eyes flip between the three of you, and Siri, you see a moment of kind of disappointment or concern. Which is like, where's Obsidian? Is he okay?
I thought she looks Joshua. He didn't.
Oh yeah, he took his goat out back. It attacked some dude that was trying to rob a lady
You
of her
fucking
purse.
did.
Very well, good. It is fine. I thought your company had become split once more. I did not want to inherit care of a goat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sure, that's the reason behind your concern.
Step back here.
Yeah? Yeah, what's up?
What is the nature of your jest?
Oh, I was joking that you maybe had a little bit of an admiring situation going on with Obsidian.
I do admire him.
That's very sweet.
Don't be a fool. Not in a romantic sense. He is dragon touched.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Hubris is all.
He is dragon touched, and he comports himself with good morality. This is to be revered.
Yeah, he's a solid dude.
Not everything is carnal.
I didn't say it was. Get your mind out of the gutter, Hubris.
She steps a bit closer to you, and you are aware of her height. Your jests are too familiar.
All right. Asher will mentally mark her down as not having a sense of humor.
Siri,
and then
you absolutely
moving on.
get, as you sort of turn, as Asher turns away, you definitely see there is a moment of from hubris.
I was right.
See this not making eye contact.
Obsidian this time would just like to make a quick check with Mila on if the goat has some sort of favorite snack, I suppose. Just sort of how would you reward that goat? Is there something that it particularly seems to enjoy, or does it just eat anything?
Mila's like, it might sound strange when I've been sorting out scraps. I've noticed it definitely favours courgette.
Would that be on hand? I think I want to reinforce the action it took.
She rifles through and has a look in the pantry. And he's like, here's one. A couple of days from turning. This might be ideal. Why wouldn't use this in any salads now?
I will nod politely. Just go and hand it to the goat.
Sangzor levels up with this treat. Yeah, he takes it appreciatively, not in the kind of mindless animal way, but there's a moment of reflection, and he takes it and maintains eye contact for a moment before taking it off back to his corner. And you gain the sense that there is some mutual respect.
Very cool. Obsidian will lightly knock it on the head with his own forehead. Sort of a little carefully. And then leave it to consume. Consume.
Yeah, we are within the adventurers.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pip lingering up with hubris, or were you just about other business?
No, I follow it.
You are now floating.
You are now floating. You did it wrong. There we
But
go.
I went across.
He's just floating around like Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2 now, damn.
Would Magira be here, or is that just sort of remnant from the past scene?
Remember from the last scene, but she'd probably be around in the guild hall.
Sure.
All right. How did it go? Was the man apprehended?
No, we came to an understanding.
Good.
I've made a follow-up appointment tomorrow with him in a tavern called
Oh,
the Something Silver.
let's hope we do not get waylaid by interruptions.
Way late. What is it that is so urgent? We have no clues.
Oh no, but it is just today that we were met with Sendax in flesh. Or sort of. Who knows what can happen before tomorrow. So then we'll just... And speaking of those, I think I will have a little chat with Megira. Feel free to start eating without me.
Is it a private chat?
What?
A private chat.
No,
Okay.
I do not
I will.
typically have private chats.
I don't have secrets, I have enemies. Megira is sat there, book in her lap, small glass of wine. She just sort of looks up. So, good afternoon.
You seem to be...
Good evening now.
You seem to be enjoying your quiet time. Would you rather us speak later?
I read when I can. It normally comes in bursts. It's fine. What do you
We
require?
had some things on our mind that could be... We had some information in mind that could be leads if you had access to that. But it is...
Do you wish to
I'm
know?
afraid it is technically not within Guild's purview, I don't think. Our business. But we are looking for increased undead activity. Hopefully. Could be nearby the city. Could be further. I'm not sure how the guild operates and knowledge
Undead are
about
not
such things.
are not typically the object of our contracts, but they very often turn up in desirable places for our line of work. I have no particularly discerning news on that activity is not uncommon, but never particularly widespread, small, isolated incidents.
I see.
I have heard of several graveyards being pillaged and mass graves being taken, disappearing almost overnight in the Gulfmere and that surrounding region. I've also heard of several small trade caravans that have been attacked recently in the trade roads near the Troll Mountains, which claim to have been led by large groups of ghasts, but this could be the work of isolated necromancers.
Was Goldmere was the nearby where the Green Dragon was, right? Or am I?
Yeah.
And that is also close by to the pin, because the pin was also near Parsham Mountains.
Above the table, I'd probably give you more directly
Okay.
that that's where Gorable had been active.
I had
Saw-
Goribol in
you
mind.
saw what he was like with corpses.
Yeah, he did pillage some corpses there, yes.
On the map, it might look close, but the Gulfmere to the pin is probably like 300 miles.
Okay, I see.
The
Can you
scale on
give
this,
me
this map
a
is pretty huge. If you look at the scale at the bottom,
All right.
bottom left.
what's
Mhm.
what's the where am I looking more or less just to give me a
For what? Sorry, for which
the
part?
Gulfmere.
The Gulfmere is over on the right. Where's Cedar Watch? The forest and the swamp you went through for Golovax and Ulan.
Okay.
Kind of, basically bottom right of the map, near enough.
Mhm.
Bottom right. Yes, okay. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, Gulfmere. Okay.
And the Troll Mountains are kind of northeast of Athkatla.
Oh, that doesn't sound too concerning then. It's probably good. It would give us a direction. All right.
Is this all I could assist you with? Did you have more?
Well, there are specific creatures that we were wondering if perhaps were once a target of the guild, or maybe they have been connected to other trophies that the guild has secured.
Speak.
Well, there is a presumed vampire going by the moniker of Lord Sanguino. Sanguino?
Indulgent.
So we keep hearing. There's also, well, several dragons, or probable dragons. That's seeing how much Mithras is mentioned has how much attention it brought. I reckon we'd probably hear if there was something going on with them. But maybe any name just means something to you, as if Athkatla. Is that
Sounds draconic to be sure, but
a
not a name
creature?
I'm familiar with.
Right. Well, there's Onslaught the Black, which also a dragon, but presumably not its first name. This is an undead, and one which activity we are hoping to find.
I have heard briefly of that one. This is the dragon that is undead and yet is somehow not a Draco Lich.
Hmm.
I'm not sure by which means this has been achieved.
And then we don't even know if Tuktmos is operating within the prime material. He sort of looks to see Relic, sort of, do we have more that immediately think like the guild could have come in contact with? Or I feel like those were probably the most promising ones.
I think that would be it.
Oh, I suppose that's it for now. Doesn't seem to be much overlap. Thank you for your time.
It's not a problem. It's been quiet since your friends left this afternoon. Just Clem is back to being his loud, boisterous self, and so I found solace in my books. Your friends brought out the quiet in him. It was a blessed day or two, if I'm honest.
He does smile.
Well, I don't presume that the pin has moved much. It's been just the morning that we have spoken.
I said I would check once a day. I don't wish to make it.
Yes. Of course.
Labor.
Yes. Right.
Have a good evening. And she turns back to her book. You notice, Sire, as she picks it back up, it's a thick book that seems to be called The Way of Queens.
Gia
Jim,
gets the reference.
I would like to request from Mila.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I ever remember?
Courgette. Just get up my last one.
No. I would like a large bottle of something alcoholic and buttered bread and any biscuits. I would like to request those, and I will retire to my room.
Yeah?
Yes.
You can have a bottle of whiskey, a full bottle of whiskey for 4 silver. It's not the best whiskey. And the rest for the biscuits are for 1. So 5 silver. We'll see you plattered up for the evening.
Okay.
Do you say anything to your companions, or do you just head to bed?
I'll look around. If they're talking, I'll look around and see if they make eye contact, and then I'll just give a nod and wander off in the direction of bed.
You see a very concerned look in Sarah's face, obviously.
Obsidian
Is she
found another
okay?
target.
What?
Where?
Under the stairs.
Oh.
So yeah, Asha retires of the evening.
It peeps around. So they'll go, is she okay?
She's invisible. I think meeting, quote unquote, Sendax face to face was rattled her a bit, which is not surprising.
No. Are you still staying with her in her room?
I suppose so. I can just go knock. It's fine. She might not be awake, but you know. I've actually been working on some new protective spells to defend us, in case we're ambushed in the night.
I mean, I would go check on her, but I feel like she really doesn't want me to go check on her. So maybe you go check on her in a little while.
Sure, of course. How are you feeling?
Sore. But I guess I went looking for my trouble, whereas you were found by the worst trouble.
What exactly did you get up to? I presume
Oh.
that your tattooist didn't get in a fight with you.
No, I found some volunteers.
Volunteers.
Yes, some nice. Well, I'm not sure if they were nice or not. I just need to burn off some steam. The idea that Atticus is, I mean, far, but still within, this plane. It takes everything to not want to just run out and grab him by the scruff of his neck and pull him back.
I understand. We've got to try and do this in the smartest possible way there. Methodical, Planning our steps before we take them.
I'm not gonna say it's a natural instinct for me, but I'm...
Of course
Guess I'm
not, but that's
learning.
what I'm here for. The thinker. The bookworm.
You have his eyes, but everything else is very different.
Oh, I sure hope he isn't going to come looking for them.
You have to get through me. And the first genuine smile that she's given Pip.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yes. I'll go check on Asher. I'll see
There's
you.
there's a vendor you said about your wands. He might give you very little. I
Okay.
feel like I'm getting a message from Obsidian, but I'm not really sure. Right, he's muted, so I can't hear it.
I don't think
I'm
he is.
not.
I think he's just
I'm not
he's
muted.
just silently intonating a hat. He's stood behind the goblin with his hands on his shoulders, staring across the tavern at you.
Yeah. Do you see where Obsidian is? Right, that he
Oh.
it might be worth or not. I don't know.
I'll see what's what.
Well, given there's quite a few things to sell on the hour, we can say that you go over and transact with him, and we can sort out between now and next session what is sold for how much, and just start next session with, oh, and you sold this, this, and this. Your group
If he's
has X
alive
much
when I
more.
get there.
Yeah, so yeah, we can say you transact with that.
My full intention was to just ask him if he sells any scrolls or anything like that, because there's someone who's interested in buying.
He would very much be like, you know, that's illegal.
So how much do they
You
cost?
wouldn't break the law, would you? You wouldn't download a car.
Is it illegal to sell them? I heard that licenses or something are
It's not
needed.
illegal to sell, but it's illegal to buy if you're not licensed. Could get in a lot of trouble selling you a spell scroll. A lot of trouble that isn't really worth the rate of selling it at.
How does that work anyway? Couldn't you buy a scroll to use it outside of the city? Is that not the
You could.
simplest
You
thing?
could. If you promise me that you weren't going to cast this spell on Athkatla, then I've got. If you wrote down a pledge to not cast that in Athkatla, like a little contract, then I'd be happy.
Right, a contract. Oh, well, I will let him.
So that if you were to contravene that, and the cows come knocking for me, I can go, look, I've got it here. He swore not to. What was I? An honest a simple purveyor of goods to do.
Sounds reasonable. And do you buy things as well? Or do you just sell to the adventurers? Does it work both ways?
Depends on what you're selling. Do a bit of buying,
All right.
do a bit of selling. I've got a few fireballs. What are you selling?
Well, I'll guess that's to be listed then.
Yeah, we'll
And for
get
Pip
into
to
that
decide.
between sessions.
Mostly.
So we're doing that and then sleeping. I'll roll us through to tomorrow fresh, yeah?
Yes.
Other
Yes.
than Siri wanting to presumably check out, well, hopefully everybody will go along, checking out this tavern, what do we think our next goal is going to be? I feel like I've fed a few slight leads. It's just you picking which one you want to pursue.
Well, they really want to speak to the fake detective, so ain't no one gonna stop them.
I mean, I don't know that that's something decided just yet.
I think in the text channel, you should decide which route it's going to be. So I, the DM, don't have to prep everything. Cool. Well, we will be back next week. Catch you later.